Hey, what's going on? It's your host Tom O'Mahony here for number 14 of Tuesday's Ramble Pod for Tuesday the 4th of September 2018. What in the Christ are you up to? How you keeping? What a powerful morning. If you're somewhere in the Emerald Isle, it is a lovely morning here. It's I'm rattling this out at 7 a.m. because it's a fucking bananas day today, which I'll tell you all about in a while. Gigs coming up this week. I don't know if it's open to the public. I think it is open to the public later on today, as you will hear this go out. And later on today at 3:30, I will be in Trinity. Like I was telling you about Trinity College, I'll be debating something silly. I think the debate is it or is it not extremely important to be very good looking. I'll be debating that. I don't even know fully what side I'm going to come down on. I need to prepare some shit, but I'm up to fucking 90. I'm talking silliness. So, but later tomorrow, I'll be in Lavery's Comedy Club in Belfast. Fucking love Lavery's. Can't wait. So I'm going to try and get up. But there's been a few requests come in when lads people saw there'll be a few requests. So if I can get up in time. Time. I need more fucking time. Anybody just taking an idle month off fancy driving me places? I could get so much done if I didn't physically have to handle the steering wheel from the passenger seat. We could have the crack, go to comedy gigs and shit like that. If you just fancied it, it's not like an interning kind of job or whatever, but it's just, hanging. We just, we'd get a giant Instagram account, be cool. It would just buy me so much fucking time if I could get somebody to drive. Then I'm going to try and get up there early and we do a podcast. We do something, myself and Colin. On the lineup is Colin El Caliendo. El Guapo himself is going to be on the bill. And Shane Todd, my old roommate from Edinburgh, is hosting. So that's going to be a good fucking lineup. That's a good lineup. If I may say so myself, that's a good bit of stuff now, that is. Then Thursday through to Friday, Friday and Saturday, I should say, I'm going to be in the Laughter Lounge in Dublin with a cracking fucking lineup. John Calleary, Peter Flanagan and Steve Cummins are all going to be on the lineup. That is tidy in anybody's books. It's got to be good fucking crack. And I have tons of shit to be doing in between all that as well. But sure, look it. Thank you very much to the Patreon people. Your fundage have gone. I'm still waiting from Germany for the microphone. It should be here by the end of the week, really. It should be here. The new microphone that has been purchased for Ramble Podding, as a direct result of the Patreon. It's actually working. Good on you. If you haven't had a look at the Patreon, do have a gander at it. See what you think about. Just have a look and think about Patreon. It's a way of helping the show continue. Like I said, there's all sorts of fucking fees for running this shit, and on top of that, it's prioritising. Gotta go do shit that actually pays some moolah versus this, which I enjoyed this better. Do you know what I mean? Imagine a proper set up studio. Set it up in town, just rent it out maybe 2 days, 3 days a week, and just bang through a load of fucking chat and interviews. Be quality. Even as it is, from next week, because I'll have the camera set up and the office set up properly downstairs, I'll be filming the Ramble Pods. So you'll see me kind of just talking shit. It makes it a bit more interactive. And that'll be purely exclusively to patrons of Patreon. The Andrew Dornan last week's one is going up in the next tomorrow. That one will be going up. And that again will be exclusive to Patreon patrons. So they'll just be the only people who can get to view this stuff. And there's a couple of more. Would you believe it? I've kind of some stuff just came in the post that is now going to contribute towards some short sketches I'm going to be doing. And a lot of those will be extra stuff purely for patrons as well. Just shit to brighten your day. Silly shit to brighten your day. And as if I didn't have enough fucking stuff to be doing. But Jesus, I don't give a fuck. I'll do it anyway. Fucking hell. Of course I will. Like I said, have a look. It'd be great if you could sling a fella a few bob. Sling the podcast a couple of bob. If you would buy the podcast, don't think about fucking buying me fuck all. If you'd buy the podcast a fucking cup of tea once a month, that's kind of what it's down to. Have a gander. If it's not for you, don't worry about it. Week gone by, bit of a tough weekend. We a lot of you may or may not know, we lost Grandma Alice. She passed away finally after 6 months of... she was fucking struggling bad, the poor thing. Strange. She'd been as healthy as a goat her entire life. And then, bang, hit with one kind of chest infection, and that took her down. Took her down over 6 months. It was sad. It was very sad to see Grandad Tom. Some of you may have listened to my first ever guests were Alice and Tom. Back in, I think might have been fucking March of last year. And they were giving us marriage advice. Do you know, so it was cool to have that. And I put it back up and a few people had to listen to it. And you know what I mean? It's cool to have that. But such is life, you know. It was a feckin' nice funeral to see. It was just really nice, actually. Loads and loads of family came out from all sorts of places. And it was just great to actually see him. Just give a nice send-off. You could do it, no, we couldn't do it any better way. It was just a lovely, lovely send-off. I tell you one thing I did realise, how uncountry I am nowadays. Jesus. Like, we were in the funeral parlour, and you know, for typically a Catholic funeral, there's a bit of handshaking goes on in the funeral parlour the night prior to the burial, and people come in, sorry for your troubles kind of a thing, and they wander around the group and they shake everybody's hand. Holy mother, like, this is proper country. This is back from where she's from, County Limerick, near the Gelty Mountains, in a place called Ballylanders. Holy sweet Jesus. The handshakes of some of the blokes and women. It was like being just caught by a fucking giant chimpanzee's fucking hand. Just rough, tough, like people who would, and this we're talking about 70% of the people, like, we're talking people who just come from doing manual labour of some sort. There's no some sort, it was farming. It was just, hey, fucking hell. One woman, I thought she pulled my fucking wrist out of its fucking, holy jeez, and she was just being lovely. But it was like, this is a fucking hand. This is what I've been talking about on stage lately. You'd be frightened of fucking some people get frightened of you know, certain areas in cities. What the fuck are you frightened of any area in a city? You need to be frightened of going to a place like that. Fucking place like Ballylanders, where 90% of the people walking around could rip the top off your fucking head. Just with their bare hands. See, what the fuck? The probability of it is low, but the possibility of it is extremely high. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, that was the send-off we gave Grandma Alice. I'll be calling down to Tom. Suppose you gotta keep him company, you know what I mean? He was in bits, but he understood too that such as life is death. You know what I mean? It's just a thing that happens. It was a good age she got to. She got to 88. Tom himself is 97. He's still completely with it, still having the crack. So that was that. That kind of scuppered everything really, but sure, as it does, you know what I mean. You know, I put off as much work as I could. 3 days kind of went sideways there, so I'm kind of chasing my tail a little. But sure, look, no biggie. People tend to understand when it comes down to a funeral. You know what I mean. A lot of lads were asking. A lot of people were asking about the Guinness ad. Listen, I've no fucking idea. I've no idea how much of my head features in it or anything like that. You've seen me in enough fucking shit. Like, people are going, I want to see this ad. To say that it's as little happening as possible. It is kind of a dreary ad, from what I could tell of as much we filmed. It might be lovely. I'm guessing it's going to be a bit of a... Because they went over and they filmed with actual brewmasters in the... Or whatever you'd call them. Over in the storehouse. So, like, I don't know. I don't know how much the side of my head basically is in the ad. There's really nothing more to be there's not a lot to get excited by. Fuck it. I'll be filming these podcasts from next week, the Ramble Pods. You can see my head then doing some work. So I honestly don't fucking know, lads. I don't know. Dublin won again. Dublin won the football final. The Gaelic football final. I didn't get to watch it. I was up to fucking 90. It was kind of a foregone conclusion, really. Like, they're just churning them out at this stage, aren't they? Sweet mother of Jesus. I kind of get frustrated with football. I do. After watching a good game of hurling, I kind of get frustrated with it. Sometimes the last 5 minutes, if they're up a few, they start passing the ball backwards and start keeping it back. And it's just, ugh. there's a wait, big word warning coming here now. There's a propensity for negative play to happen at times when Gaelic football has been played. So it's like, it's not all the time. I still enjoy a good game of it, but at the same time, it's fucking tough going when they start fucking passing the ball backwards and little passes. And then all of a sudden, nobody's kicking it. It's just hand passing it around the place. It becomes fucking volleyball. So, a couple of rule changes wouldn't, and I don't mean like discipline change. I mean a couple of actual fucking rule changes could sharpen that game up nicely. Fucking, no more of that fucking hand passing shit. Cut that out to fuck. Cut it out to fuck. Allow maybe. Do you know what? I do enjoy the Aussie rules crossover. You know that one? What do they call it? Compromise rules. I like that one where they basically fucking tearing the fucking heads off each other. It's great. It's just a good halfway mark. So that's about a good weekend for all the rugby. If any rugby people. My parents. We were talking about it only yesterday about Joey Carberry coming on from a mighty Munster. 38-0 they beat the Cheetahs. But look, this isn't a sports podcast either. I'm just voicing my happiness. There you go. And yes, I'm drinking tea. What about it? It's fucking 7 o'clock in the morning. Well, it's 20 past 7 in the morning. Of course I'm drinking fucking tea. I gotta get out the door. I have this week's podcast guest recording at 12 o'clock, and then I'll pretty much grab a bite to eat, write some notes, and go straight over to Trinity, do that debate, and then I'm teaching an acting class this evening at 6:30 in North Dublin. So that's my fucking day, lads. That's my day. You know what I mean? It's all crack. It's all fucking crack. And then, obviously, the gigs tomorrow. Jesus, I was just... you get these... I don't know why I get kind of ridiculous fucking pop-ups of news on my phone. Shite that they probably know I'm going to use on the podcast, actually. I don't get anything... I get silly shit like Donald Trump picks his nose, And I got this one this morning, apparently. And it was so dramatically fucking written in The Independent. It was about this Luas driver who had been moonlighting as a taxi driver. It's like, oh, no. You mean he was professionally working as another form of fucking transport? Oh, scandal. They didn't want him doing it because I think the way it was written very dramatically. Like the man had been moonlighting as a fucking parachute fucking jumper. Like it was a taxi, his wife's taxi. He'd been fucking taxiing in, and they hired a Transdev, whoever they are. I'm guessing they're not an Irish company. Like all our yokes here, we seem to give it away. I'm guessing it's French or something. We seem to give it away to foreign countries when it comes to not handling our shit ourselves, like our oil, our tolls, a lot of these things, even down to the speed vans. I think they're a Spanish company. You know that? Couldn't set up a van here with an old photographer in the back of it. No, they're obviously Irish employed, and the vans are Irish and all the rest. But I think the gross amount of the profit coming out of that probably goes to a Spanish company. A lot of the tolls on the whatchamacallit, foreign companies, some Irish companies, but mostly foreign companies take the toll money. Oil, there's no point in talking about that. We just fucking handed the keys to, but some fucking greasy cunt of a politician handed the fucking keys to the kingdom over on that one. Like we couldn't go, no, fuck off. We'll rent you the oil. I will rent you the rights of fucking drilling the oil. How's that one? Anybody, have these politicians ever been in any form of business before? I'm not saying they have to be pure fucking Donald Trump, the art of the fucking win and all the rest of it, but lads, although it looks like we're going to, Michael D. Higgins has a bit of challenge on him. There's I think he's going to win it again. The presidency here in Ireland is up for, it's not quite, doesn't come with the swinging power of the presidency of America and some other countries. You're kind of a good representative of the country, and you shake hands with rugby players during the Six Nations and all the rest of it. And you write nice letters to people that hit a good age in life. Gavin Duffy, who, well, I suppose I won't get him now, but it was talks of him coming on the podcast, but he has now become We might get him if he doesn't get it. But he's put himself forward and he's now officially in the running for the presidency. He was a dragon on Dragon's Den with future guest to the podcast, Bobby Kerr, host of Saturday and Sunday mornings on News Talk, who I've been on with, and I talked about this. Or we had a bit of a row the last morning I was on, because I've been trying to get him on the fucking podcast for months, and he's always off doing some cool shit, like sail around the fucking Cape of How's Your Mickey, and then blowing me off basically. Then the second his researcher rang me, and said, Tom, we're in a bind. Would you come in and help us out some Sunday morning? I said, absolutely. And I came in and I did it. Huh? Like, all I did was got a fucking free breakfast that morning for doing that. Jesus Christ, like. So, they were both dragons and the Dragon's Den. It'll be interesting. Be great to get the President of Ireland. I tell you one thing, if Michael D doesn't re-win it, I'm going to hound him to come on the podcast. How cool is Michael D, like? Everybody fucking loves him. They love him. How could you not? Anybody who loves dogs that much has to be alright, don't they? Look at it. Just look at it. He's two of those huge big... What are they? I can't remember what they are. They're class-looking dogs. They're nearly as big as him, God bless him. But talk about a man that pulled himself up by his bootstraps, too. He's got a good fucking story. He came from an impoverished background in Limerick. And fucking just slogged, and all of a sudden you become... Like, they talk about, Trump, fucking what a man to win it. It's like, really, he got handed 300 fucking million from his outlet to start a business, start himself up. That's an alright fucking start. If you just put it in the fucking bank, the interest would probably make you fucking that much. You know what I mean? Make you a massive amount. He didn't pull himself up by his bootstraps. Michael fucking D did. And I think people worldwide like Michael D more than they do him anyway, so... It's an easy contest with somebody's that fucking sound. Trump doesn't own a dog. That's all I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, is Trump doesn't own a fucking dog. Now, I know it's tricky to own a dog, but in his position, he's the first American president to not own a dog. Or maybe I'm wrong. I think, did Bush not own a dog? No. Who was it that didn't own a dog? They're untrue, you know what I mean? They've kind of said it like, no, I mean, if that's what you're going on, that's kind of loose. But at the same time, why wouldn't you? Got a big house, not yours. You don't have to worry about it. If it pisses on it, got loads of people to look after it if you need to go do a thing. So why wouldn't you? Fuck it, I'd have a giraffe if I had that many people around that could look after it. Fucking hell. I'd love a giraffe. Jesus, I'd love a fucking ostrich. I've always wanted an ostrich. We had, my mate Jerry McBride of Waterford Whispers fame was on to me for the last couple of months to see if I could catch a hedgehog for him. And I swear to God, I genuinely thought he was pulling the piss, right? Because it was just so random the way it was going. Do you reckon I could probably catch you one alright if I fucking went about it alright, but it just kept on slipping my mind. I was just going to set out some humane traps for it, because there's a handful of ways you can catch things like hedgehogs, minks and stuff like that without actually killing them or hurting them. And I never went about it. Next thing he asked me, I said, there's none here. It's one of the few animals you don't fucking see. I haven't seen here yet. But I'm sure if I fucking went about it, I could find one. I said, but you know what? If you're caught for it, that ourselves, my wife, she's a good idea. She's always kind of stuck in with the animal, the animal charities and stuff like that. She had a good idea. She was like, get on to them, see what they give you. So he rings him up. They're like, no, we don't really give them out. But here's a fucking, as pets, but here's a fucking thing. We will give you a handful of them to re-release them into the wild from your property if it's suitable, right? Boom! McBride's fucking outlet is on the fucking newspaper. He's releasing fucking hedgehogs around his garden. Yeah, so it all worked out in the end. Hedgehogs are happy, they're happy. Fucking lovely. Delighted to hear it. Oh, fuck me. I was just looking up. We were looking, you know what I mean? You'd be always just looking up. I'm fucking not obsessed with looking for, I need a new car. The Jeep at the minute. I'm just between cars. There's fucking 3 cars sitting outside there and I don't want fucking any of them. They're all handy enough, all yokes, but I need to go back diesel. The Jeep now, the outlet's borrowed the Jeep the last couple of months. He needs it fucking better than I do anyway, to be honest. She fucking drinks diesel too, so. Anyone know of a decent 2 litre fucking European made? I don't want a fucking Japanese. I will not. Look, nothing against the Asians. They make unbelievable technology, but I'm not. At least I can hit a fucking German yoke with a hammer. You know that kind of way. 2 litre, in and around 2 litre diesel, turbo diesel, bags of fucking power. I need power. That's what I fucking need, bags of fucking power. I'm obsessed. I'm gone fucking wrong on the head for it. But I was looking, Google must have thought I was moving fucking house or something because I was just searching cars and all the rest. But an $8,000 a month apartment popped up. I think it might have been just a fucking, for the crack, they put it up. There's the dog, losing her fucking mind. Oh, easy dog, will ya? Fuck's sake. $8,000. $8,000 a month for a 3-bed apartment overlooking the docks. I couldn't think of a worse fucking thing to look at. You want to see the fucking view? Oh my god, the views are gorgeous. They're fucking not. You're looking at fucking just construction. Fucking mass concrete fucking buildings that were never meant to look nice. Like if you were looking at some castles, do you know what I mean? Or some Tudor buildings. Buildings that were intended to look nice. You go, yes, those are beautiful to view. But this is mass concrete. And just fucking humanity around you. And the views are amazing. What the fuck? What do you expect to get from it? I get fucking depressed looking at that much grey. The docks. The fucking docks where fellas' arses are hanging out. Fucking loading just loading boats and unloading boats. Cursing, swearing back and forth. Who gives $8,000 a fucking month for 3 bedrooms? For 3 fucking bedrooms? What in the name of fuck? I swear to God. And there wasn't one mention. I think they were trying to cut it back and forth between the one who had the kids. I think it was the same fucking one that had the kids sleeping in a Garda station. Which, by all accounts, she was kind of a bullshit artist. But there's a TV show apparently coming out about it. Because this article started off about this apartment and then it cut back to how she's... I could be wrong. It might be the same thing. Because I don't like to Google stuff. I don't like Googling stuff. When, for facts and stuff like that. It is much more fun to just ramble away here, incorporating the name of the show into just fucking the wilderness of my fucking brain. Because I know you'll go with me, and I like the notion that maybe some people listening to this are screaming at their phone or the radio in their car or whatever, just going, you fucking idiot, Tom. I love that. It's like that whatchamacallit I put up on the YouTube channel. I put up the Ghost Show, which no doubt will be trotted out during the end of October, which I don't get any extra fucking money for. But anyway, that we did for... but then I did sign a waiver, so that's how it is. We did, and it's actually a fun show. People enjoyed it and stuff like that. People that are into it, but the fucking amount of people that comment on it. I put it up on my YouTube page. It's like 44 minutes of a show, and the fucking comment. You're like, these guys are like such losers. And you're like, you're the one who's taking time out of your day to comment on a video on YouTube. Can you stand back and look at what you are? Holy mother of fucking Jesus. And there's some people really buying into it, like, oh my God. It's like, I know, lads, but let's, is this your hobby? Watching shit on YouTube. And, no, more power to you. Because, you're paying, there are people making big money as a direct result of it, like. So, keep watching, I suppose. But fucking hell tonight, there's very little on YouTube that I've ever come across, bar when you're looking for how to fucking a handy way of taking off an oil filter off a fucking tough oil yoke or something. There's very little you'll learn. There's very little you'll actually learn in watching videos on YouTube. You'll only watch a video on YouTube that you need to learn shit off if you're in a fucking bad situation and you haven't basically fucking... you don't know how to do what the fucking thing you're about to do. You're like, oh, Jesus, I'm watching a fucking tutorial on this. As some geeky fucking lad in North India tells you exactly how to do it. But really, there's no fun in that. The rabbit holes of YouTube, when you start watching them, that's brain dead shit. That's watching babies fall down. Watching cats run into glass windows. That's brain dead stuff. You're not learning anything there. 99% of our day is not learning anything. You're not learning anything here by me either, other than there's a $8,000 apartment somewhere in Dublin looking out at fucking fat blokes' arses, essentially. No mention of even throwing in a fucking cleaning person coming around on a weekly basis. No mention of fucking somebody cooking shit for you. You got $8,000 a month. If you can afford $8,000 a month, go buy a fucking thing. Go buy something. Like, what are you doing? What are you fucking doing? $8,000 a month. It's over 100 grand a year in rent. In rent. Like, for 3 bedrooms. 3 fucking bedrooms. What's that equate to in a mortgage? It must be well over $1.5 million a mortgage, is it? It must be. $1.5 million. Do you know what you get for $1.5 million, like 20 miles outside the city? You get a fucking manor. A manor fucking house. Where you can live, just walk around in tweed with no pants on, with a fucking hawk on your shoulder all day. Like, instead of just being another dreary cunt inside an apartment in paying $8,000 a fucking... Like, if you can afford that, you are really rich. That's what I'm saying. Go do something fucking mad. Don't go look at fucking lads' arses. Or maybe that's your thing. Maybe that's your thing. Do you know what? I'm giving advice to people here that I don't even know. Do you know? Which I suppose is something I do on a regular fucking basis, I suppose. I have gotten a few messages, and there was one from a chap last week. It was about the barbecue updates were absolutely breaking his fucking heart. Breaking his fucking heart when I came to barbecuing. Here, because they don't have a back garden for the barbecue. Well, look it. Here's the fuck. I'll solve all your problems here. Obviously, you're not going to be able to do slow smoking and things like that. But, and it was the advice of my good friend Samantha Mumba. She had talked about liquid smoke. It's a big thing in America. I put up a picture somewhere on my Instagram, swiped through it. I think I said something. It must be like 5 or 6 weeks ago. Thereabouts, 5 or 6 weeks ago. Scroll back through my Instagram. You'll see the bottle of the stuff you need to get. It is a fucking game changer. It's a fucking game changer for using in cooking indoors. You don't need to use it as... You can just fucking look it up when you see it. Just Google recipes with it. It's basically barbecue in the house. It's ridiculous. Also, the likes of those chicken wings. I'm telling you, that's liquid smoke. And get the one that you see in the picture on Instagram. There's a couple other ones, and they've got epoxy weird shit in them. Don't get the fucking organic food-based fucking one that they've made the liquid smoke. I know an American company made something that's actually fucking not got nasty shit in it. But it's quite literally called liquid smoke. Get that. Order it online. You can find it online. I know that I got it in that Avoca place, and they pretty much robbed the fucking trousers off me for it, but I was getting their last 2 fucking bottles that day. It's a game changer when it comes to barbecue style foods and stuff. The fucking hot wings. You don't need to use the barbecue for them. Yeah, simple. Like I talked about it already. Bit of seasoned flour, and the seasoning I use, I kind of make up my own, but you can get a good one. It just gets something like harissa, which is in Tesco. Go to the fucking aisle with all the season, get a little bottle of the harissa stuff, pour it into some flour, shake it about, fuck in all the chicken wings into the fucking flour, shake it about, dust it, and then fuck it into the oven at as hard as she can go for half an hour. During that time, you get a bottle of Frank's fucking hot wing sauce, pour it into a saucepan, get an equivalent amount of fucking butter. I know. Melt it all together, right? When the wings are done after half an hour, take them out, fuck them into a bowl, pour over that hot sauce, shake them around, give them to your people. Job done. That's all indoors. Like I said though, go have a look at having liquid smoke. It won't be the real deal, but it'll be fucking close enough. Anyway, we're coming up right on the fucking half an hour mark, lads. I won't bend your ear for any longer. Plus, I gotta get out the fucking door. Don't forget to follow me on all platforms, whether it be Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. Tom O'Mahony Comedy will do you that. Chatty Snaps is Tom Bear O'Mahony. And of course, if you want to keep an eye on gigs and stuff like that, go to tomomahony.com/gigs. And don't forget to rate. Give us a rating. Leave us a comment on the old, if you're on the Apple Podcasts. It helps fucking people find this. It really, really does. So even if Patreon isn't your thing for the minute, give us a fucking rating if you're enjoying the podcast. Now, go on away and have a good week, and I'll see you again on Friday. Good luck.